Yes, good.
All right, Anana, welcome back to Tribal Council. A little bit of a different circumstance than usual, as both tribes will be attending their own separate tribal councils. We'll start today with the winner of the individual immunity challenger question being Chad. Chad, congrats on that win.
Thank you.
Did you have a particular strategy in mind when you were doing that challenge?
Um, Not a particular strategy per se, but I think it plays to my strengths. You know, being in the poker world, I count chips a lot and have that going for me. And if there was a strategy was just to actually count each individual one, as opposed to just, you know, taking a guess. Though I did have to do that towards the end, but by getting the exact figures on, I think four of the six, got me at least close enough to obviously win.
Aliana, this is a different dynamic than you're used to because at least one person here is guaranteed safety. So does that give Chad any sort of more power leverage than usual?
Um, that's a fabulous question. Um, I think it would be silly to think that having a necklace can make you a little bit more bold because you know that you're safe at least this round. But at the same time, Chad is a very smart player, and he knows that there's a good chance he doesn't have the title next time. So he has to also play the game the best of his ability and also have foresight of what could come.
Allison, this is your third time around doing this as a tribe. When you got back to camp, what was the scramble period like this go around?
It was more reluctant because we have grown stronger. And there were a lot of different groupings at all times.
Jess, would you echo that sentiment that it was a lot of different groups of here, groups over here, trying to say different names, but also being hesitant?
Yes, it it was hesitant and nobody. We've been here for 12 years, you guys. That's what it feels like. So like the fact that we've been with these people for 3+ days now and gone through highs and lows, it's like you don't you don't want to lose anybody, but you have to lose somebody, and it was cagey and crazy and sad and bold and spicy and tangy.
Oh,
One, I can believe that this tribe gets along with each other. I can believe that you each value each other. This is still Survivor. Somebody's got to go. So, what do you think the tribe should base the criteria on at this particular point in the game?
Yeah, so we all have theories of what's next, and we can't all put all our eggs like, oh, we're gonna swap, or we're gonna merge, or so it's a lot of different things in one that can all lead up to why we're voting someone. Um, but I mean, at the end of the day, you want people in the game who's gonna be there for you as long as you're in the game, right? And someone who you can trust going forward. And I think that's what everyone's basing their vote on tonight. So
Colby, one aspect of this game that I'm sure you guys have talked about at least to some degree, but we haven't mentioned much of Tribal is the fact that the people voted out will at some point have an opportunity to get back in the game. So, does knowing that information factor into how you vote?
Um, like people have said, it's so hard to try to predict everything that's going to happen on a day-by-day basis in this game. Uh, most of us expected a swap today, like already by this point in the day. Like a lot of us thought it would happen last night, and it hasn't yet. So that's just another aspect of the game that's just this unpredictable thing that you want to think about, but you can't put all your eggs in the basket of this idea that you have of what's going to happen as far as twists and rearranges.
Andrew, there's always a lot of things you can think about when it comes to trial. You can play for here right now. This is our tribe, this is our group. Or you can think about what's to come. What about the individual portion of the game? So where are you at in regards to that? Do you think it's more important to be present or to still factor in the future?
Yeah, I think since this is a social game, we need to make good relationships with people. And my vote today will be based on who I ally with most and who I think will be good for the tribe in general right now. Because we don't know what's to come. Like what Colby said, there could be a swap in the future, and I think we need to have a strong and not a tribe spirit maybe reunite later.
Allison,
We just need them to be much, much louder.
Yeah. Reject.
Okay.
It's okay. If you think you're yelling, you're not. It's okay. It's also the wind is a problem. Allison, once again, we talked about earlier in the game, but I do want to bring it up because we're getting further and further in. We're on day 4. What is the conversation centering around the beads?
Well, currently Chad is holding all of our beads. And then after that, we collectively agreed that we will be using them to help each other out. If we do swap and we are low on numbers, or if we don't swap and we just merge together, we can still look out for each other. And that is what I plan to do, use them for all of these people, so.
Chad, he says you're the one in possession of everyone's beads. Is that correct?
I have them right here.
How did that come about?
We had a challenge, which we lost for immunity, but won sandwiches. And when we got back to camp, we all sat down for sandwiches before the chaos began of pre-tribal strategizing. And I had an idea that I presented to the tribe. It was a little offbeat, but because this tribe has been so united, if you will, and strong, we do want to see each other succeed. If I don't win, I want one of them to win. And I think the same applies to everybody down the line. And so my idea was one of us has to go. There's no doubt about it. And just because somebody has to go doesn't mean their bead has to go with them. And having an extra bead can help the rest that do remain. And so the idea was, if you trust me enough, because I'm not going anywhere, give me all the beads. We'll go to tribal, and after tribal, I will give everybody their beads back, and we'll have one extra bead. That extra bead, who holds it, we can determine by drawing rocks, and then agree that if the person who battles back gets back in the game, we'll give them that bead back.
One, this is anything but an individual move. This is very tribe oriented, what y'all decided to do. So does that just speak to how y'all are playing this game at this point, that you're focusing on the tribe rather than the individual?
Yeah, I think throughout this week we've gotten really close to each other. Like win or lose, I think we've all had a good relationship at camp. Everyone helps out, and I think I think everyone here, I believe everyone when they say that we're for each other, especially in the later parts of this game, because the other tribe, we see how they work, but I think that we're more of a unit, and I think that going forward with a mindset like that can help all of us, and one of us can win the game if we really want to do it.
Jess, there's so many different conversations that happen at camp. A lot gets said, not everything gets heard. So what's something you think the tribe should remember before they go to vote? Speak up, please.
I'm talking to myself.
Sorry. My bad.
I'm thinking of a thoughtful response. The tribe should remember that the individual portion of the game will be here before we know it. And you got to be with the people that you can trust to move forward, and think about who you want to go up against when it comes to individual challenges.
All right. Well, those are all the questions I had. I will give each of you the chance. If there's anything else you want to say, get off your chest. This could be the last chance you have to do so.
Idea. Thank you.
Hashtag live tribal.
I'm good. Good. I'm good. Good. How it shakes out, I can't.
Anybody else?
I know. I just can't do it. And I have to sit with that. You know what I mean? I can. This is the fact I don't bring.
Chad, was that a premeditated, like, you wanted to do the whole bead thing to, like, explicitly, like, screw over someone? Just,
Honestly, no. And I honestly didn't know exactly how this vote was going to go when I proposed it. So I wanted to propose it when we were all in a good spot and good headspace before we started talking about this. You all know I've proposed other things that are tribe focused to benefit the tribe. This was just another one of those. Again, I didn't honestly expect it. I presented it. I said I would do it. I didn't pressure anybody to do it. I didn't push for it super hard. At least I didn't feel I did. And no, it was not a ruse or preconceived. I really meant what I say. And if I wanted to, because you all gave me your beads, I could keep them and have 2 idols in my pocket moving forward. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what I said
Can we have him back now?
and give them back. If you want, then that would make it so that we don't get the bead like we planned.
so you wouldn't be willing to give them out now?
No.
I mean, that would upset the plan that we had earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
How about this? We can just put this out there. There's 2 names on the block, right? Everybody else have their bead? Except for those 2? Would y'all be okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
The 2 people, are y'all okay with that?
That's how it works, right? If they gifted it to me, I can gift them back.
I mean, and if
Before the
there's a
votes are read.
surprise, it's a surprise, you know?
Whoever has the beads in their possession, it's their possession.
I meant what I said. There was no, I won't lie. That's like, it's tempting, but I am very
I'll
tribe
suggest
focused. Yeah. Here.
Okay.
For Juan,
Whatever people want.
for Allie,
Mine's
for
red.
Andrew. for
Oh,
Allison.
mine's brown.
I don't know who
It
has
doesn't matter.
what.
We'll figure it out. Andrew? That's in my mind. I can't see the future.
Well, I can't. that I'm being honest with you. I can see, I can envision how these next things will go. And I'm sorry that I'm just like not. I'm sorry that I'm just not like laying.
You
over
also could just be throwing jello at the wall and seeing what'll stick.
Does Jello stick to walls?
Yeah. Throw it hard enough. If you beat the dead horse long enough,
But I'm not doing that. I'm
it's okay.
I'm
You
contending
can
with
try to run me
information.
over with the bus as much as you want, Colby.
I mean, at this point, we can put out what was said. I'm okay with that. Like,
I'll put out what was said. If I'm on the way out, Chad comes to me. He wanted to at some point target you. He didn't want me to tell Allison. He didn't want me to tell Jess because you guys have had that like 4, whether or not it was a 4 or not a 4. He can deny it as much as he wants. He said that to me. He said that he wanted to do that because she's a perceptive player that he's scared of. That's my entire point to her, is that how is she gonna just like roll over and like know that there's doubt there when I have never cast doubt on her name? My pitch to her, just fully honestly, is how come like I don't understand why she would want to go with people that fully like, or at least one person of those. You guys probably haven't. There's just a group of people that hasn't said her name at all, and a group of people that have. So
Well,
group of people
it's
who
your
have-
word against his word, and it
A
comes
group?
down to who does she feel
Right.
good with.
is it a
so
group of people who said their name, or
No,
just
it-
one person?
it's one person. They have not. I'm not saying anyone else has other than Chad, and he knows he has.
Well, I mean, honestly, and I've said this before, I believe a game is fluid, and the perception of 4 might be what it is perceived as, but that doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah.
So I have to do what I have to do to keep all of my options open.
Well, now that you all have your beads back, I think that opened another option. Like not.
Damn.
I'm just saying that like this. I suppose the same option, but now it's not a matter of, oh, what if he doesn't give beads back if it happens.
I mean, we just have to put our trust that Chad will,
I guess,
you know?
I guess
And
we do.
at this point, I have to trust that he will.
Well, I mean, he gave him back.
He gave me mine.
He did. So did give you yours back. So I guess
If he's coming for me, I don't know if he would have gave it back to me. So.
maybe it's just another thing. He's a professional poker. I'm just putting it all out there because I don't want to go down, laying down.
You're a savvy gamer yourself, so
I know, which
it's
is,
not like
which is why I'm like,
none of us would be here if we weren't savvy gamers.
exactly. I know, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just being honest with the information that I have, and he's sitting there. He's not saying anything.
I mean, what do you want me to? I said I would explain it when she came and whispered in my ear. I don't know if I need to explain it
All right, yeah,
for everybody to hear.
I'm just saying.
It's convenient that, you know, you're saying the things that you are, but nobody else has heard those things. I think it's counterintuitive to everything I've done up to this point in the game in terms of my actions and how I voted. And I've been upfront with most people. Yes, I didn't want to tell you that I'm voting for you because I have respect for you. I don't like to tell people when they're going because it gets messy. This tribal council. And it's a respect thing from my end. I know, like, you know, I think there's other people here who will say, like, we did want to work with you. The game forces us to choose somebody, right? And it's nothing, it's just, you know, and at this point, for me, like, you're never going to trust me now. And therefore, I'm never going to trust you. And like, there's no way forward for me in this. So I can't speak for the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm just asking that everyone like, looks at the clear pecking order that is on this tribe and thinks of that after this vote. If you guys,
What do you think the pecking order is?
what do I view this pecking order
Yeah,
as?
because I think everybody's perception is different than each other's.
I
So
view
what do
it
you
as
think?
the 3 on the other ends, and then like these 3, and then me. That's how I view it. That's how I think his perception of it is. This is my perception of Chad's pecking order. That's.
I mean, I don't have a pecking order on this tribe. I have a game plan for my long-term plan, and it involves everybody that's sitting here now except for you, unfortunately. And yeah, if we end up having to go back again, the 6 of us, then it's gonna be messy and ugly again, and it very well may be if there's no individual meetings.
That's the
Like,
fluidity of
like
the
you
game.
said, it's the fluid they did with the game, and we just can do what we can one tribal at a time. No.
Let's get to the vote.
That's the vote.
The tribe that gets along so well. It is time to vote.
I do love this.
I do think you've had plenty of time to talk, so we're gonna shut that down now. No more talking. We're gonna let them get to the booth. Everyone, very lively tribal council. Let's see what happens. This time we're gonna start with Jess, with Andrew, Colby, and with Chad. Jess. Eliana. Allison. All right, I'll go read the vote.
All right. Once the votes read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to the tribal council area immediately. I'll ask if anybody has a community idol and would like to play it. Now would be the time to do so.
Amos, I can't help but notice that there used to be 3 pieces of bamboo on that table, and now there's only 2. So if one of those is some sort of idol, that I'd like to claim it. There used to be 3. Now there's just 2.
2 green, 1 brown.
You can still play it.
That's a jello I was throwing at the wall today.
Okay.
Could I play the skull?
You can play anything you want.
Sure, why not? Let's I mean, I don't think it is, but not. This medal.
Well, in the real foot rules, anybody who plays an idol, any votes cast against that person will not count. The person with the next highest amount of votes will go home. This is not a hidden immunity idol.
Okay.
Yeah, tried. Why not?
Why not?
What about the cinder block?
Yeah,
How much time we have?
maybe the tablecloth or stuff.
Our fun try.
Maybe
All right.
trees.
Nobody else has anything to play. I'll read the votes. Great. Let's vote. Colby. Jess. 1 vote Colby, 1 vote Jess. Colby. 2 votes Colby, 1 vote Jess. Colby. It's 3 votes Colby, 1 vote Jess. Colby. The next person voted surviving real foot. Colby.
For the sake of the people watching at home, I wish that I had more graceful exit. And I'm sorry for the mess of the last half hour, but I could not let myself go down without trying to do something.
Oh, absolutely.
Just want some people to know that I have not told a lie in this game. So look out for that. Right. And I wish you all the best, whether I see you guys back in the game or not.
I'm not.
Maybe they don't want you to go, Colby.
After that, they probably don't want me to come back.
You will have a chance to get back in this game. You'll head down that way.
So Colby, you just got voted out. What's the reaction right now?
I feel like I tried everything I could have at this vote. I wish that I took initiative in speaking up for the fact that this was so obvious from like 2 votes ago even. Like, it was obvious this was gonna happen the second that like yesterday I've just been saying this. We should have tried to do a rocks with Deborah and we would have lost again, but at least we would have still had like numbers probably. I don't know. I just to To the people watching at home, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed, but I'm very embarrassed, but I'm still gonna come back and come back into this game and try to win. I really did everything I could. There was a point there where I think that Allie was gonna do it, and then just something I had it there for a moment. She said the number. She said if she says a number at tribal, then she'll do it. And she said a number. And then it just all fell apart. I'm embarrassed the way I went out, and how early. But like, what can you do, I guess? I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have any hard feelings to anyone on there?
No, I think I would be I'm not gonna have like a hissy fit and say like, why did they do that? That was so stupid, because everyone is playing their own games, and the smart decision for Allie was to do that and to vote me out. And I was really grasping at something that I didn't have. That was probably the smart decision for anyone in that four, and I shouldn't have let it get to the position where that was going to be the case. But I can't have hard feelings there. Like, it was it would have been a bad move for them to save me in that scenario. And like, it's just like embarrassing how like I mean, I know I had to try that, but just like, I don't know. I don't have hard feelings towards them. I still hope and think someone on that tribe will win, because I think it's gonna be me, but no, like, actually. Yeah, I don't know.
Is there anyone you're rooting for currently on left on?
Andrew. I'm rooting for Andrew. I really hope he goes far and wins, because even though Juan was like mostly upfront with me, he didn't have my back at the very end, and he was never decisive, ever. It was always, hey, here's the like, blah 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 blah. Here's this like plan. Here's something. It's like, it's never, I want to do this, or yes, we should do this. I'll talk to this person. If that's what people are doing, I'll do it. I could see Juan being a 0-vote finalist already. But I really hope Andrew goes far. That's like, he's just a good dude. And honestly, I even hope that Chad goes far. He's just masterminding everything, and I feel like I'm the only one that's seen it and the only one that's been saying it. He even had me like hyping him up for like 2 days, just about like, yeah, like, I trust him, but he hasn't like proven his trust yet, but I'm sure he will. And I knew that was stupid. I even said it was stupid while I was doing it. But like, I don't know, everyone needs to get their head out of their butts and notice that he has just been like the champion of our team, running everything. And also, Chad and I had the same number. We counted the same number. I didn't write down the same number on my board because I miscalculated. But he finished first anyways. If I had finished first, I would have been real mad though. So whatever, that's just another thing. Yeah.
Last question. People watch on Facebook and watch live. To anyone out there rooting for you, what message do you have for them?
That I'm sorry I went home so early, and that I hope you guys don't think less of me for getting out so early. There were definitely missteps on my part. I'm definitely just like very disappointed in myself and embarrassed at myself. This is the worst I've ever done in any game like this I've ever played, by far. I've never not made it like close-ish to the end game, with the exception of Survivor Maryland 24. I've never not made it to the end game, and it's hard to I don't know. It sucks. It sucks. It's a bad